So you're right out of college, you're applying for your very first teaching job, you have all the hopes in the world. But you go to apply and you're like, wow, there's a lot of schools on this website. Which one should I apply to? You have no clue. How do I find the right school for me? If that sounds like you, those are the things you're thinking, then definitely stay tuned for this video because I'm going to be sharing with you guys my tips on how to find and apply to the right school for you. Hey guys, my name is Laura. If you are new here, then you should probably know that I am currently in the process of applying for a new teaching job. So I've kind of been through this interview process a few times now, so I feel like I have a lot of tips and tricks and knowledge on the topic. So I devised this whole video series on how to find the right school for you and land that teaching job that you have always wanted. So this is video 1 in the series, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to kind of weed through and find what schools to actually apply to and which ones you should probably not apply to, and determining which ones those are for each person because everyone's different. So first things first, I want to just kind of lay this out here. This is my process. The things that I consider might not be the same things you consider, but I'm just going to share mine because it might help you figure out what things are important to you. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I always consider when I'm going through all these schools is distance. My first year applying, I kind of just applied to every school because I didn't really care what area I was in. I was willing to move, or at least I thought I was. I ended up not moving. Now this go around, distance is a little bit more important to me. I miss my small commute. This last teaching job that I had was a 30-minute commute each way. It was a lot of driving, so I definitely want something that's a little bit closer to me, a little bit less of a drive. But if it doesn't work out that way, it doesn't work out that way. So distance is definitely something you want to consider. It might not be important to you at all. It might be very important to you. So consider distance. Next thing I always consider is grade level. This is probably more for my elementary school teachers. I'm not really sure about middle school or high school. I'm not really sure how that works out because I know you guys are certified in this subject area. So I know you guys can teach like various different grades, but as far as my elementary school teachers go, this is something that you probably want to consider. I know the first 2 times I applied, I was looking more at primary grades just because that's what I got my master's degree in, so I wanted to kind of stick in that area. But this go around, I'm looking more at intermediate because that's where I feel more comfortable at. I've had 2 years of 4th grade under my belt, and I feel the most comfortable with those standards and that, I guess, subject matter. So definitely just look at the grade, what's important to you, what's not important to you. Maybe you decide to do like a grade band like I'm doing 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade positions that I'm applying to. And then the last thing that I would probably consider before applying to jobs is the student demographics, I guess. Like for example, do you want to work at a public versus a private school or even a charter school? Those are things to consider. Or do you not care? You're just going to apply to whatever. I personally would love to work in a private school, but I know that they are a little bit harder to get a job at. You kind of got to know someone. I've applied to charter schools in the past, but I haven't been successful. So again, I couldn't be able to give you tips on that. So if you're really looking to land that job and you don't really care if it's private or public, then try public. I would definitely say you have more of a chance of getting a job there. Another thing to consider for demographics is, do you want to teach at like, for example, a Title I or a not Title I school? So definitely those are some things that you want to look into. All these things you can really just look on the website, whether it's the grade level, where the school is, Title I, public, whatever it is, you can look on the school's website to find this information. So do your research. So after determining whether these things are important to you or not, you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna go on and see what schools are hiring. For public schools, you're gonna go on the district website and it will list all the schools that are hiring and what positions they're hiring for. But pause there, don't hit that apply button yet, don't do it. Click on the job before you apply to it. See, does it match your distance important? Does it match your grade level that you want? Does it match your student demographic population that you want? Figure out all those things, determine if it matches your level, determine if it matches your importance. If it does, apply to it. If it doesn't, don't apply to it. It's just that simple. If you're less picky on all those things, you're probably gonna have more schools that you can apply to. If you're more picky, you're gonna have less schools that you can apply to. It's up to you. Pretty much as simple as that. Now, I will say that there are a few other things that you might want to consider. These things are more things that you would probably ask in an interview, so I'm going to do a whole video on that later in this series. I already have it planned out, but some of these things, like, I'm just going to give you a few examples to kind of give you a little taste into that video, but maybe certain clubs or activities are important to you. For example, Relay for Life is very important to me. I've been doing it since high school. My last school that I worked at in Tallahassee had it, but this last school that I just quit at, link in the description below for that story, that school did not have Relay for Life. Had the school worked out a little bit differently for me, I probably would have implemented that club at the school and that activity at the school the following school year, but it didn't work out. So for now, hit those apply buttons to the ones that match your criteria of what you want, and now that you've hit that apply button, it's probably asking you for a resume. Don't stress. My next video that I'm going to be coming out with is going to be all about resume tips, how to build a resume from scratch, what to keep on your resume, what to take off from your resume. I've done resumes so many times recently, so I feel like I really have a good knack on it. If you've enjoyed this video and any of these tips stood out to you, go ahead and give this video a like, leave a comment down below if you have any of your own tips or things that you consider. I'd love to hear them, and I guess we can kind of grow together. But for now, that's going to be it for this video, and I will go ahead and see you guys in my next video. Bye.